Nepal 2015. Where do I begin? "35,000 feet above the Himalayas. Not much can be seen except for the huge tops of the mountains that peak above the clouds. As we got closer to the capital, the clouds cleared, revealing the vast landscape and the hundreds of thousands of homes in the Kathmandu Valley. What am I doing in Kathmandu? My buddy and teammate Augusto asked. We had taken the trip with the organisation called Thirst No More, a disaster relief team with a heart for evangelism. We landed late, and after a short sleep, we began our journey up into the villages in the Himalayas, a journey we are not likely to forget. We began our journey in a truck, navigating through the windy roads, but because of all the recent landslides, our vehicle only took us so far, meaning we had to make the rest of the journey on foot, crossing through active landslides, rivers, forests, and across bridges, all the while being completely blown away by the beauty of the Nepalese countryside, but also the devastation that the earthquake had left.
पावन लीला खेल पावन लीला खेल पावन लीला खेल जय देवा नर हरि जय देवा नर हरि जय देवा नर हरि जय देवा नर हरि
We got to the village and saw where we would be living and working, but more importantly, the people we would be working with. Mingma and Anju are indigenous missionaries and were our hosts. Pastor Kamal and Pastor Yam came from a long line of Hindu priests and actually served in the local temple, but both were radically saved and now serve as pastors in the village. All of these amazing individuals lost their homes during the earthquake, but still lovingly and faithfully serve the people of the village God has called them to. The people of the village were so warm and welcoming, and we connected to them really well, especially to the kids, who just wanted to have fun. This little boy is extremely important in our story, so keep him in your head for later. After leading the village's youth service, which was held in a tin emergency earthquake shelter, we went to bed early so we would make the 7 a.m. church service. Welcome to church. A blue tarp held up by some sticks in case it rains. There's no sound equipment here, just a few instruments among the many joyful voices. Being visitors, we were asked to lead the service, so we shared some songs, testimonies, and even preached. The message was based on Matthew chapter 12 and was a call for unity and to remember that even though there are many things that have a lot of power, Christ is the strongest of them all. When we asked if anyone would like to give their lives to Christ, 3 ladies came forward, including the mother and sister of this little boy, who brought his family to church that day. What made this even more amazing is that we learned afterwards that his father was an extremely powerful witch doctor in the next village. Pastor Kamal led the woman in salvation. We prayed for the new believers and then joyfully sang. as we thanked God before leaving. Like most places in the world, soccer is the popular pastime here, especially for the teenage boys. We had brought along some footballs that were donated to us, so we had the great opportunity to present the new ball as a gift and give a short gospel message with it. We also gave a ball to the younger kids and watched and prayed as they played, hoping that they wouldn't send the ball flying down the side of the mountain. One of the main things we did was house visits in the surrounding area, running small services and prayer meetings for those who couldn't make it to church or who had a specific need. These were beautiful times of fellowship, and we not only were able to share, but also receive. One day, after going house to house for a while, the little boy asked us to follow him, so we did. He took us to his home, and we were able to meet his father, who, after seeing the change in his wife, as well as the power of Christ in her, wanted free from the darkness he felt trapped by, and to stop being a witch doctor altogether. All because of his son. All because of this little guy. Around the village, you never know what you might come across. Waterfalls, snakes, weird insects, Buddhist and Hindu shrines, even walking cabinets. Unfortunately for Brian, he stumbled upon a valio tree while out gathering firewood. It's a poisonous tree that led to him looking like this. So you're stuck in the Himalayas, the roads are closed, you've no hospital, and your buddy's eyes have completely swollen shut. What do? Well, the only option we had was to climb higher towards the Tibet border to find some medicine in an emergency medical tent set up by the Chinese after the earthquake. As we walked up, there was a question we'd wrestled with. Why would God bring Brian to Nepal for him to get sick and lie in a tent? Before we left, we half-heartedly told Brian, hey, maybe we're supposed to meet someone up there. Little did we know that we were absolutely right. Welcome to the doctors. We dreaded to think of the horrors this tent had seen, but also recognized the huge and in high demand help this tent and its workers provide. Meet Pram, an amazing lady who has been stationed here for 6 months away from her family. She really appreciated the visit, especially from such unusual clients, and we certainly appreciated the medicine that she gave for Brian. On the way up, Pastor Kamal told us that one of the most highly respected and feared Buddhist leaders, a Lama, lived in the area. We immediately wanted to talk with this man. Meet Lama Pasim Timba, whom we approached very gently as some overseas visitors who wanted to hear his story. We in turn had the amazing opportunity to share our story and the gospel with him. Much to Brian's despair, Pastor Kamal had one last stop to make, the army barracks. We got to clean out an infected wound in one of the soldiers' legs, while Kamal had the great idea to pick up some dinner for the team. So, we watched him butcher and bag up a sheep and went on our merry way. Yummy. Brian very quickly got better and is now healthier than ever. He's in Nepal for a few more months, and he and the team would really appreciate your prayers as they continue serving the people there and avoiding poisonous trees. After that, our time in Nepal quickly came to an end, and we made it back in one piece to Kathmandu to teach at a Bible college and explore the city before catching our flight home. China has the fastest growing church in the world in terms of numbers, but Nepal is thought to have the fastest growing church in terms of population. During our time in Nepal, the often quoted verse came to mind. The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Beyond all the idols, beyond the damage from the earthquake, and beyond the immense need, lies a nation that is hungry, desperate, and ready for the gospel. Please join with us as we pray to the Lord of the harvest, as we ask him to send more workers into the field, both nationally and internationally. As always, thank you so much to everyone who made this trip possible, and thank you very much for watching.